Hey guys, UK Lunacy here, bringing you my second League of Legends guide, or build, gameplay, how-to guide, whatever you want to call it, okay? So today I'm bringing you Swain, the Masterful Tactician. So I'll run through my runes nice and quickly. So for my reds, I'll take flat mana penetration. For my yellows, I'll take mana regen per 5 per level. I used to experiment with these in my ranked games, and I tried taking armor, flat armor, which stupidly didn't, well, not stupidly, obviously didn't work. So I got rid of them. Then I tried mana regen, just flat mana regen. You know, they work quite well. I didn't have any problem with them, and then a friend suggested that I tried mana regen per 5 per level, and boom, worked really well. So that's always what I go for now. I'll take blues. I'll just take flat AP. And then for my quints, I'll take 2 plus 2% spell vamp and 1 flat AP. So I'll kind of explain why I do that. So for my my 2% spell vamps, obviously because of his ultimate, which I'll go through in a second, does give him some massive spell vamp anyway. I thought I'll try it out, and it worked amazingly. Like it was silly how I could pop my Zhonyas and just boom, I was just taking so much health back. It was almost silly. So I was becoming like this mad tank, and I'm only just an AP caster going up mid, and it was brilliant. So I guess I should say why I would take Swain in the team lineup. So this is just a normal game. I'm playing with a friend actually, Bob Fock. Here we go, playing on Teemo. Great name. Yeah, to start off with it, guys, I'll always pretty much take my boots of speed, and 2 health pots, and usually a mana pot as well. My reasons for that kind of are because if you can rush up, drop your E, and then land a couple of auto attacks, you're doing such huge burst damage at level 1. It means you can completely zone your lane and just dominate. I'll kind of show you against this Lux. Oh, Lux against. I'm actually against the Lux then. So Lux is my last featured video. So we should see how this goes off against her. We actually have no jungle, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll see how this goes down anyway. Seem to have got a bug here with the health pots. But anyway, so let's run through my spells. So my passive, possibly one of the best passives in the game. I restore 10 mana whenever I kill an enemy unit. So that's, for example, champions count and minions count. So you can just pretty much sit in your lane, farm up, and you're just going to be getting mana back all the entire time. It's a pretty useful spell. My Q, my laser bird, if you want. So he sets down his little bird, and for 3 seconds he'll slow them down. Obviously the slow increases with rank, and does a fair bit of damage over 3 seconds. So he's got a nice little DOT, I guess. My W is an AoE snare. So if you want, that's already his second CC. Like, you know, I've only gotten 2 spells. This late game does so much damage. It's insane. It's one of the players you can just initiate with, and your team can just rush in. It's so good for starting fights when you haven't got, for example, an Amumu or a Malphite or anyone that can just rush in and jump in the fight. So it's so useful. Also for obviously escaping and getting away. It's just pretty much a perfect spell which I love to take. I'll always take my E first, which you can see I have now. This is his Torment. So basically he puts down a DOT on them, a second DOT if you will. And what it does, it's kind of similar to Vladimir's ultimate, Hemoplague, where all damage output from all characters on that champion is increased. However, with Swain, it's only the damage output from Swain that's increased. So that's also why I take my Ignite. So I always take Ignite and Flash, but the Ignite, along with your E at low levels, it can almost pretty much guarantee you a fight. My ultimate, I turn into a bird and I can fly. Okay, it's amazing. It's kind of why I take Zhonyas, the Zhonyas Hourglass. I'll explain my build in a second, but his ultimate is just incredible. So what I'm trying to do early game is, you can see I just landed on my E, then on my Q to slow them, and I hit 2 auto attacks off, and because of my E, just increased damage on them, I'm doing so much damage, let alone my E, then my Q, and my auto attacks. Let me look at her health, it's just absolutely insane. Already down to 220 HP, and we're just level 2. Means I can just completely zone my lane. Can we see last hits? 8v3, so I mean it's only early doors, but it's not too bad. So you can see what I'm trying to do. As I know I'm going up against a Lux, I know she has pretty insane range. She's going to try and throw out her E, but rather than run backwards, I'm actually going to run forward. Not like that. I'm actually going to try and run forward and try and escape it, okay? So she's throwing down her snare. and I know she's low health, so I can pretty much go in for the kill whenever I want now. But I've seen how she's done on her snare, so she's not going to be doing too much damage to me right now. And I can almost try and risk going under the tower if I want to go and tower dive, but we're not going to do that just yet because we're getting a massive advantage here on CS, so why risk that? So you can just see, I'm just trying to literally, I know I'm a bit overextended here, and they do have a jungle Xin, I believe, so I'm going to try and just sit back, just get some last hits. I'm going to get some mana back. You can see that I sort of go a little blue, like a little globe around me if you want. So that's, you can just kind of see how his mana works. So I believe I'm going to get ganked in a second, but I obviously don't know this in game, so I'm going to try and push up, try and see what I can do. Me being the noob that I am, I managed to get snared by her again. But yeah, you can see I rush forward here and try and avoid taking any damage from her E. Again, just work on those last hits. I'm usually really bad at last hitting with Swain. I don't know what it is. I think his auto attack sort of animation is nice. It's not like too slow or anything. It's just I find myself ganking possibly maybe too much, more often than I should do. His gank ability is pretty awesome. Obviously he's got 2 CC. He's got some really nice damage that you can just pop down. You know, if you're ganking a lane, for example, when they've got like a Cho'Gath top, and all he has to do is knock up. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna get ganked. I drop my E, my Q, I snare her in place, and she's not moving anywhere. So my E, along with all my damage spells, my auto attacks, and my ignite, which I popped as well, there's no way she's gonna get out of it. And look, I'm still half HP here. I've still got my health pot as well, so it's all going well so far. Again, so now she's gone, I'm just gonna work at my CS. She's out of lane. I'm gonna try and see as much gold advantage as I possibly can. I try not to use too many spells early game. As I mentioned, I did take the mana regen per 5 per level. So obviously early doors, I'm not really going to be regenerating too much mana, other than from my my passive, which is possibly, I think, one of the best passives for an AP mid in the game. It's kind of similar to, I think, Kassadin's E or W. I'm not entirely sure. Where when he auto attacks, he gets mana back. It's not quite as good as that, but whenever I get a kill, which isn't too hard, I'm going to automatically be zamping back so much more mana that it's so useful. It's crazy. My first item that I am going to go for is pretty much always a catalyst. This, along with my ultimate, which obviously gives me health back, and my passive giving me mana back, I'm just going to have to stay in lane and just do crazy amounts of CS. Okay, so hang on, I jump in here, obviously land my Q, my E first. Your combo you want to do is you always want to land your E before you do anything else, because obviously it increases all damage output done by Swain on that champion. So you will always, if possible, obviously you want to always try and land your E. If it makes sense to land your Q to get the slower first, for example if you're trying to run away or you're trying to land that snare for that kill, then obviously go with your Q first. But I'd always recommend, if possible, try and throw down your E. So in comes Xin here. I turn my bird form instantly, snare him, Q him, E him. He's just gonna get melted and I get away. Oh god, his ultimate is incredible. I don't think I actually told you about his ultimate. So I turn into a lesser bird, I think, or some sort of crow. I don't know what it is. And I send out 3 ravens at a time. I think one can only hit, one bird can only hit one champion at a time. But on its way back to me, as it comes back to me, it's going to heal me for a certain amount of damage that it does. So the more AP I have, the more spell vamp I'm going to get. But also, as I mentioned with my runes, I do take the 2% spell vamp quints, which are going to massively help. Like early doors, obviously. I'm going to be making so much health back that it's just incredible. So I'm coming back to lane now, and you can see I've already got my early catalyst. So my lane presence is just going to be, I'm not going to be too much damage, obviously, because I haven't gone for a blasting wand or gone for an early needlessly large rod. But because Swain just has so many, such a good combination of spells with his E, his Q, his W, that his damage output is crazy anyway. So I don't need to sort of rush any Rabaddons or anything. I know a lot of people do like to rush mad AP items, like go for an instant Rabaddons. But the build that I go for, because I usually take Swain when our team isn't too tanky. For example, we've got a Cogmore and we've got a Teemo. We haven't really got that much tank. Talon, I think, is going to go kind of a brutalizer, that sort of standard Talon build. So I need to try and be as tanky as I can in the mid. So Swain, with the build that I use, and I'll also link on the bottom, I made a Mobafire guide for Swain on my other account. possibly about 2 or 3 months ago, and I've had some quite good feedback on it. But it just seems to be. I've tried it possibly every other build with Swain. I've tried Athene's Holy Grail, that new item. I've tried quite a lot of item builds on him, but the one I use just makes me so outrageously tanky early doors that I can straight up initiate with my E, my W, cause so much damage, pop my Zhonyas, and the team just comes in and cleans up. And you'll see Cogmore. I think Cogmore's a really good player. He does really well this game. And Teemo does really well as well. To be fair, does a really nice job. So I'm going to try and come in and gank bottom here. But I believe Zin obviously has vision on me, but I try and creep up and see if he doesn't have it. He's not locking or looking at shop or whatever. But he manages to get away, and this is what I shouldn't do with Swain. I should have landed my Q first to slow him, and then I could have landed my snare a lot easier. But being the noob that I am, I tried to snare him straight up and ended up him getting away. So in comes Lux. I think I did call SS mid, but I think I'm trying with spectator mode here, so formal spectator mode. Trying to see if that's any better for replays. It seems to be okay, but I managed to miss out on what goes on in chat, so we'll have to see. So obviously we've got a Nunu here. He starts with his ultimate. In I come. I land my snare as soon as I can, trying to hit. I hit all 3 of them here, and I just melt Lux instantly with my Q, my E and my Q combination. I did think I landed my E before my snare went off. If you can try and do that, it's really quite hard to do. But if you are going to throw down your W, your snare, if you can throw down your E before your W procs, then obviously you're going to be doing increased damage on your snare. And you can see I hit so many people with that snare there that we managed to come away, kill the Lux. We don't lose any HP here, and yeah, I managed to get back into my mid lane, and I get to farm up again. So my CS is on 54. Wow, I'm actually the highest in the game, which is surprising for me. I don't think I'm too good at the CS with Swain, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, my build, I'll currently tell how my build's going to go down. So I'm going to finish off my catalyst, and then similar with Lux, I'm not going to go for my boots until quite late game, and I want to kind of see how their build lines up. I mean, they have Teemo who could go AD, or he could go AP attack speed. I don't know if Zin goes tank or AD, and the same with Riven. So I'm going to see how this game plays out, and then decide later on how to take my boots. With your Swain, because he's got so much CC, you can, similar to Lux, stay out of range of the fight. Drop down on your spells, rush in with your ultimate on. So here in comes Zin here. I managed to snare him. I should have run out a little bit of range here so he can't auto attack me, but so I flash after him, 1 auto attack, but I don't know how much HP he gets away with, but oh, that's sad to watch. So Lux is coming on pretty strong. I see Riven coming down as well. I managed to duke out the laser here. I'm on no mana. My bird's slowing her down. I'm running away. I pop down a ward here to see which way Riven's going to go. She's she's going this way. So I run in this way as much as I can to try and avoid this Riven gank. Teemo gets jumped on by the Riven. I have not much mana left, so I try to land my snare rather than any other move in the game, trying to get her under a tower, and we managed to just clean up the kill. Teemo managed to get the kill. I don't know how he did. He was exhausted. He was running away, but we managed to do quite well and get the kill on Riven. So that's kind of what I'm saying with Swain. His CC can just change games, especially that snare. It's just insane. Anyone tries to tower dive you, they're going to take so much damage unless they're going to build flat armor. It's just Swain is just so fun to play, especially he's a bird as well. I mean, come on. So push this tower up here now. I think we're going to try and take this as quick as we can. I think in chat I'm saying push this, then we're going to take the Drake. But Zin jumps me again. I managed to snare him while the Nunu ult is charging up, and then boom, he just gets absolutely crushed. So I think Nunu's going to go down to the tower here, unfortunately. But we do manage to last hit the tower. And I'm trying to get him to ping back because Teemo only set 1 dart and a couple of auto attacks at me, and I'm going to just lose my health straight away. So we decide here. I think we decide in chat that Drake's possibly a little bit too ambitious. So I'm just going to go back now, pick up some items. I want to get that Rod of Ages as soon as I can. Obviously it increases with time. Oh well, so in comes the Rengar on the Cogmore. Cogmore's doing really well at this point in the game, so I want to do as much as I can to try and avoid this Rengar kill. So he comes on to me, I believe, yeah. He drops his Q on me. He heals up, which I wasn't expecting. I now have no mana, and Cog managed to come in and save the day. Oh, I managed to avoid the Lux laser as well. Oh my god, that's 2. I feel really quite bad for this Lux, But so we both get away with literally less than 100 HP at the time. So as I said, I'm going to go back, pick up this early Rod of Ages, and which obviously increases over time, and it gets more powerful over time. So I pick up that Rod of Ages as my first item. And then what I usually do, if I have enough money, is I'll pick up the Giant's Belt as well. This just basically gives me so much health that for me to go down and die is gonna take pretty much a 5-man gank, or you know, I need to be caught by a snare or some sort of CC under a tower, which obviously, because I'm not gonna have boots, I'm not gonna be trying to pull up any mad moves like that. So that's kind of what I usually go for. I don't think you're in need of too much early ability power with Swain, because he just has such a good combination that he manages to just rock. So I managed to get caught here with 2 of Lux's spells, which does prove she's not too bad at Lux. So I come out to lane, I'm checking top here, and I just know that Riven's actually doing fairly well in the 2v1 lane. So she's going to cause a little bit of problems later on in game, I believe. So what I should have done is really gone up top. Lux is missing. I really should have rushed up top and try and get this kill on Riven to stop her getting some CS. You can see, look at the level advantage. She's got 3 on Teemo and 2 on Talon. So fair play, well played Riven. So in comes the gank down bot, and Kog'Maw just cleans up on this Lux. Zin's going to do as much as he can. He gets exhausted by Nunu, and then another stun coming by Kog'Maw. I'm going to rush down and do whatever I can, but I believe Nunu's going to go down here. Yeah, he does. I'm way too late, and I have no Lux laser to finish him off, unfortunately. But Rengar, I believe they don't have any vision on me. They can't have pushed back if they see me here. I managed to snare with a really bad snare. I managed to catch out the Teemo, so he's going to drop instantly, and Rengar's going to clean up the kill on Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw comes in. I don't get any assist here, which is a bit unfortunate, but I didn't want to steal the kill of Kog'Maw because he went down. And we don't want to be killing off, do we, guys? It's really a normal game. You don't want to be doing too much of that. Especially, we kind of want Kog'Maw to be getting the kills. He's our AD carry, and he's a really good player. And he's got a skin, so hey, he deserves the kill. So what I'm going to try and do here is almost try and push the lane, head back to my mid, and just try and keep as much of my advantage and maybe push this tower while I know a couple of them are down. What I should do really is go up and fight this Riven, but hey, it's been done now. So I'm heading back up to mid. I do have a ward. I'm gonna pop it down at Drake, or I should pop it down at Drake. But no, I don't. You always want to try and pick up a couple of wards of Swain because as I said, he's so good for just sitting in lane and just having a mad lane presence that if you can ward up around you and just be safe, there's not really that much room for you to kind of mess up. I mean, obviously if you get ganked, like a really powerful gank, Zin's got a nice little leap in and a knock up and etc. But you usually can, if you want to try and ward up around this area here and then up in here, you're going to be fine. So I come in behind the Lux, I land my Q first, try and land my snare, but obviously she snares me first, and I stupidly walk over her, which is, I don't know what I'm doing. I ping here for the Zin. Obviously you can't see that in chat because we're in spectator mode now, but I'm just going to try and pick up as many last hits as I can, and then come down. I think I'm going to come out, how about bottom maybe? Or no, I'm going to be that greedy guy and just keep up my CS. Let's have a look at my build. So I picked up a couple of mana potions. I don't think you need to take that many health potions back to lane with you, because if you have the mana pot, you can just sit there with your ulti, zap back all your health, and obviously with the mana pot, you're going to be taking names with your ultimate, so you're going to be getting back loads of mana anyway, plus a mana pot. So you're not going to be taking any mana, not going to be using any mana in total, as well as picking up some mad amount of HP. So unfortunately we lose our bot lane. We get a 4-man gank. So I'm gonna come down here. I should have really followed Lux, but I didn't. So I run into the Zin. I'm gonna try and just keep him out of the fight so they don't push as hard as they could do. And I'll keep letting them know I'm here. Teemo comes across as well to try and support the Zin, but there's really no need because I'm not going to be doing anything here. I think the tower's going to go down anyway, almost definitely. Riven's been pinged top, she's going back, so I think they're going to try and move in and do something to this Riven. Got a couple of shrooms as well, so if she wants to escape, she's going to get slowed mad. So I'm coming back into my mid lane. How's my gold looking? So I'm on 1400 gold, so I know that kind of soon I'm going to be able to go back, pick up possibly Amplifying Tone in my Giant's Belt, because I'm going to go straight into a Ryalis Crystal Scepter. Kind of in a way a controversial item on Swain, because I know he has a slow already. But it's mainly for when because I'm going to be going and initiating in this example, because I'm pretty much going to be our initiate. I need the slow to slow down all the enemy team, for our team to be able to come in and do all the damage. I mean, if they're slowed, it's going to be easier for Teemo to come in, for example, and do his damage. Talon does more damage when he's slowed, and enemies are slowed. So yeah, we come in top, we clean up Riven nice and quickly. Again, you see the snare being the first thing I laid down, and then I managed to proc my E before the snare went down. So I'm going to be doing massive amounts of damage on that Riven. We're going to take this tower as quick as we can. I'm going to put my ultimate on and just try and clean up as many kills as possible. And then we should, in theory, run down and try and protect this dragon, because they have 4 missing from their team. So we probably are thinking they are going to be around this area here. We see their top. I write this in chat. I say they're top. Let's run for dragon. But I don't know how much our team really communicated here. I'm going to try and put down a ward up here if I can, just because. No, do I? No, I don't. I don't put a ward up here, and we don't go to dragon. I believe Nunu said no, save it, save it. So yeah, we're going to try and see what we can. I saw a Lux E go down here, possibly thinking we're going to Baron. So we're going to try and catch anyone out if we can. We run in. I could have, if I wanted to, I could lay down my snare in here if they're going to be there. But we're going to try and go in this in anyway, so there's not too much point. And see, I have Teemo and I have Talon waiting for me, so I'm trying to bait and do as much damage as I can. I run back here and flash. They don't chase me, but we managed to catch up. Teemo's rushing in, being the tank that he is, and yeah, in we come. We clean up Xin like, almost instantly, and then I try to run away. I snare him as fast as I can, and then I see that Talon exhausted Teemo, so I come back. She's not doing any damage to me at all, and I'm on the rampage. Hey, so my gold now is almost at 3k gold. So stupidly, I don't recommend doing this, guys, but this is kind of what I did. I got a little bit too gold hungry and thought if I can sit around here and get 150, I'm gonna have to buy a Ryalis straight up. So I kind of wait around. I come back into lane, I believe, and then Riven and Xin are gonna pounce on me and just straight up kill me. So don't do this, guys. This is kind of the video I kind of I chose to do was not only one where I do quite well and do things reasonably well with Swain, but there's also quite a few mistakes that I make, and obviously this is a guide, so I'm trying to show you like what to do and what not to do with Swain. So I'm still sticking around. I don't know why I haven't gone back now. I mean, I could sell. Have I still got mana pots on me? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I still got mana pots. I could sell them. I could have my Ryalis go Scepter if I wanted to now. But instead, I try and be that really ballsy guy and try and come in on this Riven. We chase her. I've got as much slow on as I can. Like a nice little minion block there, which is possibly the reason we didn't get the kill. I land my E. I throw out my Q. Sorry. Then land my E. And she's got away easily. She's got such high mobility. And now I'm out of mana. So I don't know why I wasted my E on the creep, my Q on the creeps there. But in comes in. I try my ultimate off and try and get some health back. But he's just going to jump on me. He knocks me up flat with a flash, and I'm down. So fairly silly move there, really. Like that's kind of what you want to try and avoid doing. I know you are going to eventually be a nice tanky character, but I haven't got that many items at the minute. I've only got a Rod of Ages, so it's fairly silly of me, really. So I'm going to speed up the game a little bit here while I'm dead. And I'm just going to sort of check the other lane. So we've got Lux coming in possibly coming in for our blue. And there's Cogmore now, who's stupidly fed, just cleans her up. So I'm coming back into the mid lane here. Lux is going to get away with literally nothing here. Bit of a shame. But Cogmore, I think is he gonna charge? Let's have a quick look. So he's following up. I've gone back into mid at this point, guys. Try and get as much CS as I can, because I need to sort of carry this game. Cogmore's doing a good job of it, to be fair. He's now 14 for 2, and that was a really sweet ulti there from Cog. So up we go, speed up the game a little bit more. All I'm really doing here is just putting on the pressure by just trying to push up the tower. I can take the second tower, then our map control around here is just massively boosted. So it's kind of what I'm going to try and do. So in I come here. What I do is, I see they're fighting, so I don't want to be the guy to come in first. Nunu's chasing down to try and save the Cogmore, so I go on Teemo. I manage to snare him, drop my E and my ultimate on him. I'm going to clean him up straight away. Rengar's gone invisible, so I'm not going to have to find him. So I decided to leave up my ultimate because it does still go out and hit people that are out of sight. But obviously by this point he's long gone, so we don't really have any vision on him. We're going to try and push his mid tower again, I believe. Oh no, I'm going to be that guy again and try and get as much CS as I can. I know I say it's quite a good thing to do. I'm actually 100. Wow, I'm actually joint with Riven here, which is pretty mad. I never really do this too well. But the more CS you can, obviously, it goes without saying. The more CS money you have, the better items you can have, and the easier you can carry. I mean, look down at our team scores. Talon isn't really offering too much to the team. It's 50 CS, which isn't brilliant at all. I'm almost like double the gold he has. Teemo's doing, you know, he's doing a reasonable job, but again, not really offering too much damage, or the enemy has some CC and some nice map control, which is really nice to have with a team on your team. Nunu's 0 for 7 here, but he's got 14 assists, so he is the one reason that this Cogmore is fed. Cogmore is on some silly amount of money here. Look at his items. Oh well, so in comes the Lux ult. I'm gonna try and snare, but I fail with that snare. Really silly move. I should have waited really for this sort of situation to pick up a couple of them. I'm gonna run away. I managed to get my slow off and in, and I'm doing so much damage, and I haven't even got any damage items really. So I'm gonna chase him. My damage over time is gonna pick him up, and we actually have a DC here, 2 DCs. So I don't know how this is gonna play out. I decided to come back, and I know they're aware that we have 2 DC, so this tower's just gonna go down. We're not gonna bother about that too much. I should have really had a ward for this area here, but I didn't pick up too many wards. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna pick up this kill on Lux, I believe. So much damage. I flash out of the way. I'm gonna try and chase this Teemo. I have no mana now though, which is pretty silly. So back I go. I'm now gonna go. I could go with boots if you wanted to, guys. You could go with boots here, but as you can see, I'm kind of like this sort of. I'm not going into the fight just yet because I'm not that tank that I will be late game. So I'm just gonna go back to base. I'm not gonna pick up my second boots. Instead, I'm gonna go for a needlessly large rod. I decided that because we don't really have that much AP damage. So if they decide to go for, you know, some armor, they're just gonna like Talon's gonna be out, Cogmore's gonna be out, and Teemo's gonna be out. So we're not gonna have that much damage. So I decided to go for some magic damage, and I'm gonna build that into a Zhonyas next. There's been so many funny little events with Zhonyas. I'm gonna rush for this blue actually, but with Zhonyas you can just jump into the fight, use your snare, kind of flash in if you want, drop down your E, and you'll have your R on constantly, and you're just gonna be mopping up so much damage to everyone around you. Pop your Zhonyas when you need to, and in comes your, you know, obviously your AD carries. And they're just gonna like mop up the team and do some serious damage while you're just sat there and just going back to full HP again. So I bring a couple of wards back with me to lane, I think, and I managed to ward the Baron. That DC kind of hurt us a little bit, although our team are picking up the dragon now. And what you want to do is, as soon as your dragon goes down, just type in like, I don't know, 3418 or whatever we're on here, 3214, I don't know. Just try and chat and write into chat. It does really help your team out. I mean, you'll see an example later on where I've written in chat the time for our next dragon timer, and we're sat there waiting with like 5 seconds to go, pick up another dragon, and our global gold just goes through the roof. So you can see we have a quick look at gold here. So they haven't really got anyone above the sort of 8,000 mark, where we have. I'm almost at 10,000. Cogmore's at 10,000. Nunu, despite having, you know, 8 deaths, is doing a lot better than the Talent and even better than the Teemo. So we're doing really well for gold. Item wise, they've gone for, Xin has gone for a pretty mental build here. It's gone an AD Xin, which I've never really seen, and it doesn't really work that well. Riven's kind of gone kind of tanky, but then again kind of AD. So in we come. I'm gonna have my ultimate on the entire time I'm in this fight. Rengar just gets dropped instantly, and then I'm gonna try and slow down the Teemo with my Q. He's just definitely not going to get away, and that's a 3-0 exchange there, guys. Or 3-1 exchange there, I think. No, 3-0. My bad. So he managed to get a 3-0 change there. Lux is going to do what she can. She's done a really good job actually trying to defend this tower, so she's done a good job. I'm going to go around and try and see if I can do anything to push up this tower, because we've got to try and push. Top is kind of getting pushed, but I mean, it's so low health anyway. It's going to drop it anytime soon. So I try and throw down some damage for Talent, do as much damage as you can to try and get a quick push. No one's really kind of listening to me. I think in this point in chat I say go Baron if you want. I'll be the distraction. Because if your team are gonna go to Baron, obviously if you've got 5 people at Baron, you're gonna take it down quicker. But if they haven't got any wards, which I didn't think they did have any wards around, I was checking for them. If they have no ward coverage down and they see that you're bot, one, they're gonna have to run bot to try and recover this turret. I'm gonna just carry on pushing like Teemo has come. Lux has gone there. I take Teemo away from the fight, and I take a tower out of this. And obviously we're going to do as much as we can at Baron. Wow, and it comes to the Lux ulti. She picks up a double kill and stops the Baron. See, if I was over there, I possibly could have done something towards the Baron, but really well played by Lux there. Picks up the double kill. So our Talon's down and our Nunu's down, which isn't too bad. It's not like we've lost a Cogmore. We've only really kind of lost, if you want, our 2 supports. The Talon's almost going support for Teemo at this point in the game. he's gone for a Bloodthirster and a longsword, so he's just going for flat AD, which again I don't really recommend. But I haven't really played too much of Talon, so I don't know. I might do something here. I was on free week this week, so I might try and do something. I see a Rengar's trying to invade here. I obviously got a Cog who's 1 fed and 2 full HP, so I'm not too bothered about walking around with him. I'm going to try and take as much CS as I can. I'm going to go back here. Another little tip, I'm going to try and back here because if this respawns in the time that I'm still zamping back, I'm going to take it as another 100 gold for me. But I'm just going to wait around. I don't think they're going to try and invade. I don't think we'll be too ballsy here. We have no mid turret, but I don't see why they would try and be too ballsy and come at us. So I've come out to base. I picked up my Zhonyas. So I always do my hotkeys as 4, because I always have my my index finger on my F, my flash. I just find it easier. It's personal preference. You can obviously do what you want, but I always have my hotkey just for my my items that I always use. So much like my if I've got a Hextech Gunblade, or if I've got like a Yomu's or whatever, I'll always have that on my on my 4 hotkey. So Nunu comes in, does some serious slow and damage to him. I think Kog'Maw maybe picked up the kill. No, sorry, Teemo. Which is obviously good news because Teemo's trying to get a little bit fed here. I'm waiting around Baron, trying to do something. I wait for the Teemo to come out. I snare him instantly. Drop my E, my Q, and my ultimate, and then he's just going to drop here. So he's down. I flash over the wall and try and do some slow because obviously I now have my Ryalis. I'm slowing everyone down around me. Xin is going to get dropped straight away. And then Rengar, I think he's already popped his ultimate, so he's not going to be able to manage to get away again. My slow for my Crystal Scepter is just instantly stopping any advance, any sort of progression away from us. That's kind of why I recommend going for the Ryalis Crystal Scepter, because even though you have slows, if they're off cooldown, if you can't use your Q because you've just used it, for example, and your snare, you've managed to miss it, it's kind of hard to hit. Your ultimate, who you're going to be having on the fight at all times, because you're going to need to be that tank. You're just going to be slowing them anyway, so it's controversial, yeah, I know, but it's kind of what I go for. I mentioned my Mobafire build anyway, so if you want to look up that, I'll put it in the description for you. But obviously I go into a lot more detail, and if you don't like my voice might sound a bit weird, or I don't know, if I haven't explained too well, then obviously I've got it in words there, which is easier to use my written words than my my oral words. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm gonna go and take this blue here. I see Lux is away, so I know they have no vision of me at all. The Zin's just kind of respawned, so is their Rengars. They're not going to have anyone to come and really take this off me. I have no mana, but I'm still going to have to pick this off quite quickly. I'm not going to take any damage, and my ultimate at this point in the game is just doing so much damage as well as giving me so much health back that it's just crazy. So I think this is possibly the point where I realise Dragon's going to be up in sort of roughly a minute. So I come down, I try and just take as much CS as I can, and I try to want to push this lane up. So if it's past the Baron, past the Dragon at this point, we're going to have a lot more vision if they're going to come down from this side of the lanes coming into Dragon. Just things like that, you always want to be pushing lanes so to try and get objectives. Obviously, if it's not trying to push a lane to get a turret, it's pushing lanes so you can get a Dragon easier. So I think we have roughly 10 seconds or something on the Dragon. So I'm writing in chat here, guys, it's 10 seconds to Dragon. We have Baron. They just picked up Baron for us, which is a nice move by Kog'Maw pretty much. Him and Nunu just soloed the Dragon, the Baron. I don't know how I managed to put the snare, but I do. And because literally this is again the Crystal Scepter, out of vision, my birds go away and pick up some damage for me and bring me out some health, which is nice. We managed to slow her down enough for us to come in and pick up the kill. So again, I write in the chat roughly 38-28, or roughly whatever the Dragon's going to be at, just so we can get as much dominance as we can. I mean, we're 12 kills ahead now, so the game is pretty much in the game. They have 3 towers, 2 towers, 3 towers. We're on 6 now, 5, 6. Here we go. So yeah, we're definitely ahead in the global gold, but we're just trying to rather than throw the game now because they can easily win. It's only just Kog'Maw and me that really have the kills. I mean, I'm 10 for 1, he's 17 for 3. So if we lose me and Kog'Maw in a fight, our team really aren't going to be doing anything. And they can just instantly push, take a couple of towers or 3 towers, and just swap the game around completely. So Teemo's trying to push. He's got a spell that means he can obviously get some massive movement speed nice and quick, so he's not too bothered about getting the ganks. But while he's doing that, we're just going to try and push this tower. I'm tanking it now because I have 2 HP items and a nice armor item, so I'm doing quite a lot of tanking for our team now. And I think at this point in the game, I think I said to myself, I've got a Baron buff now, I've got a blue buff. why not go back and pick up some speed, because I need some speed at this point in the game, because everyone's going to have some speed items. Zeals are now on Zin, so he's going to obviously be moving nice and quick with his initiation. Riven's obviously a mobile character, and Rengar can jump at us, so we're going to have a lot of gap closers, so I need to get some boots now. I looked down the team, I noticed that Zin was going full AD, Teemo's gone AD pretty much, as well as the Riven. And I mentioned in my guide with Lux that you just want to have as much AP as possible, which she really hasn't done that. So she's not really going to be doing that much magic damage to the team. So I decided to go off and pick up my Ninja Tabi. Sorcerer's boots could be a good idea. I wouldn't recommend going for cooldown boots, because your cooldowns, like, you're going to be in a fight, popping the Zhonyas, so you're going to be out of the sort of, you know, casting too many spells. You don't really need that much cooldown reduction on Swain, I don't think. So I don't really recommend those ones. I would much prefer going for merc treads if they've got a lot of if they got maybe 2 AP, they're running like a Vlad top or something, or they've got some heavy initiation like a Malphite or a Mumu or a Nautilus, and they maybe go for a merc treads. But it's very situational, and it's things like that that kind of separate the players who are able to go in and dish out and carry the team, and characters that are just going to go in like kind of like our talent and be like, I want to get kills, even though he hasn't got any kills. He's gone full AD and he really hasn't got any damage on him, just because he has no survivability and he's not going to be able to be in the fight and pick up the damage and pick up the assists. Whereas I've just gone for a really tanky build, and I'm just able to mop up kills. I mean, I've gone for a Hextech as well. That's because when I'm going to be popping my Zhonyas and starting the team fight, because I am going to be initiating, I wrote in the team chat, I said, Nunu, don't worry about initiating, I'll do it now, and then you can flash in with your ultimate. And when I'm like, they're all focusing me, no one's going to drop any sort of silence or anything on Nunu, because they're going to be wanting to take me out. And even though they won't be able to because of my Zhonyas, we're going to do so much damage and so much slow on them that we're going to lose. We're going to take at least 2 or 3 dog tags from them before the fight's even finished, you know. So we know the game is pretty much secure. So all we're really trying to do is just push. We've got Kog'Maw trying to push this lane, Teemo's trying to push this lane. Me and Talon just sort of walking around trying to pick up their jungle camps and trying to deny them that way. So we're coming up to mid again. I noticed that Riven actually had some vision on me, so that I knew they were going to come and do something to me. They're going to try and I think they're going to take this tower, and I'm just going to be jumped on by Zin here. I managed to sort of get away without too much damage, and while this is going on, if you look up top, we managed to distract 3 of them while they've taken 1 kill on Riven and taken a tower. I'm pinging back in the game to say, like, go back now, go back, but this isn't happening. They kind of get a little bit greedy. I know Kog'Maw's going to get really ballsy here because he's got 2 Bloodthirsters and almost 2 Phantom Dancers, so his damage output is just ridiculous. He's vamping back so much damage here, so much health, and he picks up, is that a 3? That's a 3 for 1 exchange there. I know Kog'Maw does die, but really well played there by Kog'Maw and Nunu. They should really, I think they probably could have listened to me, but at this point in the game we're doing so well that they don't really have to pay too much attention to me. I'm only just a bird man. So how am I doing for my items? So I haven't really done too much. My gold now is sitting at only 900 gold, so we're just taking another inhibitor. I know at this stage of the game is 1 anyway, so what I kind of gonna go on to say is kind of almost irrelevant. So this is kind of where I would say what not to do with Swain. So even though I am a tanky man, I just don't have that much mana. I have a mana buff on me, but I'm still not going to be able. Ultimate's going to run out nice and quickly. My Zhonyas, I can decide to pop it if I want to, or whatever I'm going to go for. But this is kind of what not to do. So I'm always at the front, even though I said I'm going to initiate. I'm always at the front, and I don't have anyone near me. And Kog'Maw, Teemo, Kog'Maw's back at base. Teemo's kind of with Nunu down here, so I'm kind of on my own. I get instantly jumped on, and they're going to pick up how much gold? Like almost 600 gold from me or whatever. And even though we've got 2 inhibitors and the game's almost won, like to give them 600 gold and all the assists and all that, it's just a bit of a silly move, really. And like I said, you are going to be initiating, but don't be initiating when it's 1v4 or 1v5, because that's just how to throw games. You want to be like, say, okay, Cog, follow me, or Teemo, come with me. I'm going to go and initiate. Flash in, ultimate. That's your combo. You want to flash in, ultimate. Drop your E on possibly the lowest, like for example, drop it on the Teemo or anyone who's doing too much damage, and try and just get as much damage down on them as they can, so they have to flee the fight. Obviously you have a crystal scepter, so you're going to be slowing them if they're trying to run away as well. And that just allows, like, for example, Talent to flash him with his E, his cutthroat, do a serious amount of damage and pretty much mop up the fight. So now we're making our way towards Baron, because that's kind of what we think they should do. They should go for this Baron now, because they managed to. They kind of wanted to go in for this. What's going to happen is Lux is going to come out with a nice. Sorry about that, guys. He's going to come in with a nice ulti there. Picks up the Teemo, but this at this point in the game, this Kog'Maw is just so fed that he's just going to run in, pretty much like 6-shot her. Rengar jumps in. I'm nowhere near. Because I died, I'm not going to be in the fight. Like, it's kind of another thing. You just don't want to ever die too often. So they're going to run in. I think they click at this Riven, and I think the game is going to finish at this point. Really nice ultimate. Let's just watch this. So he managed to juke one, but then I think does he put up one more last one? He does, but he doesn't manage to get the kill. She goes back to base, and they surrender, and it's GG. So guys, I hope that helps. I tried a couple of different things. Like I tried the full spectator mode. I tried with some music in the background. If you don't think that's kind of like, you know, a good thing to do, then just let me know in the comments, and I'll change it for next time. I'll bring you another guide as soon as I can. I'm not sure who I'm going to go with. If you can maybe give me some like you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You like maybe drop me maybe do a Vlad, or do a LeBlanc or a Castellan. Just let me know. I'd rather do an AP mid, to be honest, but I don't mind doing like a Mundo top, or someone who's quite hard to play, like a Mundo's quite a skilled character. Or anyway, guys, thanks for that, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.